I've attended a few rescues now, or been a part of the release process as well for threatened, critically endangered and endangered animals. To say a couple of Tasmanian devils, recently in eastern Quoll, I've been lucky enough to release 2 swift parrots now. It's all very, very special to be able to do that. So one rescue that I got to respond to was a really special one for me, was a Tasmanian devil out in Cambridge. Essentially what had happened is this young male devil had fallen into a truck servicing pit and wasn't able to get back out independently. So the member of public called us out there. We headed on out, assessed the situation and found it sitting down in the service pit, not really moving, pretty unresponsive. So we jumped down in there and pulled that one out. Able to assess it up on land and check everything out. It was all in really, really good condition, great mobility, no signs of devil facial tumour disease, everything that indicated a nice and healthy animal. So the best practice deemed was to release that one straight back into the wild. So we just took it a few hundred metres away from that same area, so that it's in that same location where it came from initially. Let it go back into the wild. It was a pretty amazing experience to be able to see it from start to finish all the way through, and to have such a happy ending for such an important animal down here in Tasmania. The first probably being the states of the animals that you see them in. There are some pretty horrific scenarios where you see animals in excruciating amounts of pain, unable to move, exposed bones, blood, the whole works, not the nicest stuff to see. That alone can be quite taxing, so that is quite difficult to see. Furthermore, when you're actually dealing with the animals, they're not aware that you're trying to help them, so they don't respond to you as though you are there for assistance, and that does make it really hard as well. There's so many different factors that go into it, and so many different aspects of it which make it challenging, but those two independently are most definitely the hardest part about the job. Without a shadow of a doubt, the most rewarding part about the job is getting to see the releases. So having the opportunity to do that is just so special, to see those animals make their way back out into the bush. But just having the opportunity to help them, you know, it's really quite privileging to be in a role like this one, where I do get to assist every single day with, you know, our beautiful native wildlife, which is most definitely needing some assistance right now. So a few months ago now, I was lucky enough to be a part of a release for a critically endangered species of bird that we do get down here in Tasmania, the swift parrot. This one came into the care of Bonorong Wildlife Sanctuary from a member of public after it had run into a glass window. They took it into their care, looked after it. After their process of care, they gave it off to me, and I was lucky enough to take it back out into the bush and release it, which was probably one of the most special experiences I've had since I've started with wires. Thank you to our generous donors for their support and giving native wildlife a second chance.